We both got the same sort of dance style, haven't we, Malcolm? I noticed. That is the Jazz Stylings, though, the David Witham Group. So thanks to them, they'll be back later in my Joe Cocker tribute band, which is gonna end the evening.
Those are some hep cats.
I'm telling you, man, they're swinging.
And I needed a prescription from Dr. Jazz.
Dude.
That's enough of that repartee. So we're your MCs for Laguna Art Museum's virtual gala. I'm Malcolm Warner, the director of the museum, and who are you
Jason
again?
Feddy, Laguna Beach Arts Alliance Artist of the Year.
You enjoying your cocktail?
I am enjoying it. I do want to say, though, if my AA sponsor is watching, it's iced tea. Yeah, and if my endocrinologist is watching, this is not a cookie.
So, anyway,
Cheers.
this whole event's in two parts. The first part is a continuous one, and it's a show, really, exclusively for our sponsors, benefactors, and patrons. And it'll include some really special treats. Among other things, cameo appearances by some of the biggest artists in California today, including the great Wayne Thiebaud. We'll have the unveiling of the spectacular art installation that we're going to be doing as part of Art and Nature in November, and the presentation of the Anna Hills Awards. So there's plenty to look forward to.
Yeah, and in the second part of the evening, we're calling that the Bash. And there's lots of ways to be involved with this. You go to Laguna Beach Art Museum website. More about that later. We'll give you all that information. There's loads to do, loads to see, loads to get involved with. And at the very end of the night, my band, Mad Dogs and the Englishmen, are going to take it on out.
And one of your hit songs, I know, is I'll Get By With a Little Help From My Friends.
That's right. We're a Joe Cocker tribute band.
Yeah, you are. So that provides a good segue for me, because it's my pleasure now to recognize some of the generous platinum sponsors who have really made this event possible. Jane and Joe Hanauer and Laguna Beach Books, Lou and Laura Roll, Kristen and Steve Samuelin, Ellie Weaver and Hilton Weinberg, and West Coast Event Productions.
Yeah, we're so grateful to you guys. Soon we're going to hear, though, from Malcolm in the much anticipated and long awaited State of the Art Museum speech that you're going to make.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm joking, but it's a serious thing. And but first, we're going to go and look at some of the artists that are friends of the museum. We're calling them our art stars. None of them, of course, are Laguna Beach. Did I mention that already? But I happen to have my award with me in case you'd like to. Would you like to see it?
We'd love to see it.
I'd like
yes,
to show it to you
briefly.
It's a very beautiful piece by Louis Longy. There you go. Very nice. So I am Artist of the Year, Laguna Beach, and that's very good.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough of that, Jason. Let's. They're all wondering why we don't just get on with it. So let's go to the first cameo, which is from G. Ray Kershew.
Hi, I'm G. Ray Kershew, past president of the Laguna Art Museum. About 50 years ago, I moved to Laguna Beach because of it being an artist community, only to find out there was a wonderful museum in town. My involvement has been endless with the museum, and my support has been total. I hope that you can support the museum also. It is a cultural center in the heart and soul of Laguna Beach, and it has great importance. This last week, a survey came out saying that 1/3 of all the museums in the country will probably be closed permanently. You can realize how important it is now to support the museum and to support this gala. Thank you very much.
I'm ready. I'm not very cultural, especially about art. You know, it's a damn good profession, challenging. I cannot complain 50 years down the road. I don't want them to see, I want them to buy.
Hello, and welcome to the Director's Office at the museum. The gala is a good moment to look back on the past year of the museum's life. Like every person and every institution, we've been heavily impacted by the pandemic. We've been even more in need of support than usual, so first of all, heartfelt thanks to you, our gala sponsors, for standing by us. Closing to the public for periods has been a downer, but there has been an upside. Thanks to the talent and can-do of both staff and volunteers, we've created some first-rate online programs. We'll continue with those as bonus offerings, even when we get back to normal. In preparing this online gala, we've benefited hugely from the professional savvy and hard work of Kristin Samuelin, aided by the other members of our fabulous gala committee. Kristin taught us all that online needn't be a lesser version of the real thing, but a different and creative project unto itself. The shutdowns aside, it's been a great year for us. I'm proud of last fall's eye-opening retrospective of the Laguna Beach painter Thomas Hunt. We followed that up with another exhibition that made us all wonder why the artist isn't better known. It showcased paintings and drawings made by the Mexican artist Artemio Sepulveda during the time he lived in Laguna. Then we were honored to bring in the gorgeous exhibition of work by one of the most beloved and best known of all California painters, Granville Redmond. In the past year, we've added over 100 new works to the museum's collection. You'll be seeing them in our galleries soon as we continue to complement the special exhibitions with changing displays from the collection. One of the stars among the recent acquisitions is a major William Wendt painting. It could hardly be more perfect for us. It's a view near the artist's own home in Laguna, painted in 1918, the year Wendt took part in the founding of the Laguna Beach Art Association, which would eventually morph into Laguna Art Museum. And recently, the estate of the influential Los Angeles modernist Stanton MacDonald Wright distributed works by him to museums, and we gratefully received an impressive group of 20 vibrant drawings and watercolors. Talking of the giants of modern art in Los Angeles, let me point out this beautiful painting behind me by the late Peter Alexander, one of his famous aerial views of Los Angeles by night. We were so saddened by Peter's recent death. He was such a loyal friend to this museum and will be sorely missed. Now I'd like to mention just briefly some of the exciting projects we'll present over the next few months. There's the Wayne Thiebaud exhibition, featuring the circus subjects that have been his preoccupation over the past few years. Our outdoor installation for the Art and Nature Festival, which will be one of the most spectacular to date. The art auction, in which we seem to outdo ourselves each year. And next summer, the exhibition of Matthew Ralston's haunting photographs of performers in the pageant of the Masters, deftly titled Art People. While working hard to keep up the quality of our upcoming exhibitions and programs, we're mindful of the importance of long-term sustainability. That's why I'm proud to announce that we've made headway lately in building our endowment, which now stands at double what it was in our centennial year of 2018. It was clearly an inspiration to celebrate those first 100 years. Kudos to our far-sighted donors for helping ensure we flourish through the next 100.
I love the Laguna Art Museum. It's like the Parthenon above the beach. I like to bring my kids there for a swim and then drag them up the hill for some culture. It's kind of the perfect Southern California day. I love that the museum was founded by artists, and I think the focus on California art makes it more unique and relevant for me. I've seen some incredible shows there over the years. I think the collection is full of real gems, and I had the great pleasure of doing a show at the museum in 2013 called Clay in Space that remains one of the highlights of my career. And I really will be forever grateful to Malcolm and the museum staff for working so hard alongside me to realize that show. It was an incredibly ambitious installation. It was very difficult, and the museum really, really worked hard to make it happen. And I think we're all just really lucky to have the museum and have Malcolm there at the leadership. And I am grateful, and I will continue to come for as long as I live. Cheers to the museum.
Hello, I'm Kristen Leachman. One of the meaningful memories for me after moving to Los Angeles 32 years ago was discovering California art and art history, something that had unfortunately been omitted from my East Coast art school education. I loved how the Californians had a unique approach to plein air, surrealism, transcendentalism, modernism, and pop. It all continues to be an important influence on my work, and I'm pleased that now the world finally appreciates the force of California's art and art history. And there's no museum better harnessing that power than Laguna Art Museum. Since 1918, it has been informing the world on the magic of California creativity. One of the first exhibitions I saw at LAM was John McLaughlin, Western Modernism, Eastern Thought, in 1996. I started soon after making 48 by 60-inch paintings as he had done, and I've continued to work on and off with this beautiful size ever since, including the one behind me that I completed last month. Near to my heart is throughout these last 100 years, LAM has been supporting the work of women artists and artists who work closely with nature. I was honored to exhibit as part of LAM's Art and Nature exhibition a few years after Elizabeth Turk and Lita Albuquerque, and in the same year as Helen Lundeberg, and in conjunction with Anna Hills. I'm proud of the work Laguna Art Museum has done. Thank you all so much for supporting them. Let's hold the space for the next generation and keep California art center stage where it belongs.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kristen. That's really amazing. One of the reasons why the Art Museum is so loved by artists is because it was created and founded by artists back in the day. And we're going to hear from more artists as we go through the program.
Yeah, but now it's time for the presentation of the award that we've named for one of the great artists of the past in Laguna Beach, the Anna Hills Award, to Greg and Barbara McGillivray. First, though, we're going to hear from last year's honorees, Jane and Joe Hanauer. Jane and Joe are such loyal and supportive members of our museum community. They're so close to our hearts, and we're delighted that Joe is now the chair of our board of trustees. So here they are, Joe and Jane Hanauer.
Thanks, Malcolm and Jason. That was terrific. Thank you very much. Janie and I are thrilled to introduce two people that really demand no introduction. They're also two people that are dear friends of ours, so it's very easy to do. Barb and Greg McGillivray love Laguna Beach. They love the art, they love the ocean, they love the environment, they love the atmosphere of the town, they love the architecture. They're passionate about Laguna. Barb and Greg are cognizant of how lucky they are to be able to have their kids and their kids' kids have the opportunity to grow up here in Laguna Beach. I think that's one of the reasons that they double down on everything they do for this community and for organizations like the Laguna Art Museum. For the things they love, they're passionately behind them. They stand up for them and support them and defend them. For the things that they think they can do better, they're consistently speaking out. It's so appropriate, therefore, that Barb and Greg McGillivray are this year's recipients of the Anna Hills Award for outstanding dedication and support to the Laguna Art Museum. Jane and I, a year ago, were honored to receive the Anna Hills Award. And we're doubly thankful this year that Barb and Greg are receiving it. One reason is because they are dear, dear friends. But the other is that we were able to precede them, because if we had to follow them, that would be too tough an act to have to carry out.
And now let me introduce Chuck Henry, who will be doing a brief interview with Barbara and Greg. Chuck?
You both met each other in high school,
Yeah,
is that right?
I funded his first film.
You
I got the funding for it.
From the high school.
Return of the Son of the
student
Sheik
body.
for our high school graduation. But it was part of that drama program. I got $50 from student council.
That's all it took, $50?
That's 5 rolls of film back then, so that was enough.
Greg and Barbara McGillivray may be Laguna's best kept secret. Since the 9th grade, they've been quietly making some of the biggest and most captivating IMAX films in the world, and all of it out of their offices right here in Laguna Beach. With 48 films to their credit and the distinction of breaking the $1 billion mark at the box office, Greg and Barbara have traveled the planet, telling compelling and thought-provoking stories about the power of natural beauty and the common passions that drive mankind.
What is it about this area, Laguna Beach, that has kept you here
Yeah.
for these many years, an incredibly successful career. You could live anywhere, go anywhere. Why here?
I think for both of us, it's the combination of the environment, the art, and the water. And it's the community. You end up with a 20,000 people community. You can end up living here and knowing your police captain, your city council. And so it enriches your life in a way that you can't get in a gigantic city.
Well, but the other part is our green belt and our blue belt.
Mm-hmm.
And then the center of the green belt and the blue belt, there's this artistic beating heart. It's very cool.
Let's talk about this artistic beating heart. We have a small art museum, but you have worked with some of the largest, the greatest, the most well-funded museums in the world, and yet you still choose to be a part of Laguna Art Museum as well.
It's a great museum, and the leadership at the museum now is better than it's ever been, and so you end up with a real pride in what the museum is.
You are an artist, but your pictures don't hang on a wall. Tell me about that. Tell me about your palette, your canvas.
I love IMAX, and I love conveying to the public with the best visual imagery and sound imagery that you can possibly get, which is IMAX, conveying the beauty of nature. So we've made over 40 IMAX films over the past 40 years, and our joy is showing at 200 theaters around the world stories about preserving these natural wonders. And as an artist, what I try to do is convey these stories in a way that's original and inventive, and so that you don't feel like you're just hearing a story that you maybe have seen before.
You see yourself as an artist?
I see myself as a photographer, as an artist, yes. So my connection to the art museum is one that's really important.
It seems to me in your films, I don't know if I've seen all 40 of them, but at least in the IMAX films, that not only is the content different, but you're experimenting. I can find little different subtleties that seem to take it a step beyond maybe the last one or the next one. So I see this kind of growth. Do you feel that way? Or are you always stretching to find the next?
Yeah, I stress this with our crew, is that we don't want to do the same thing over and over. I want to try to challenge myself with new subjects and new interests that can be more engaging for me, but also more engaging for my audience. That's what's fun with IMAX, is people look at an IMAX film and they know it's real.
What has been the impact for you of, say, art and nature?
It's so appropriate.
Yeah.
Then I get all choked because this theme of our last film, Into America's Wild, which we premiered February 4th, and it was the most wonderful shoot I think we've done, because it was showing the power, the impact, and the importance of engagement with nature.
The thing about art in nature, as far as a program that is reoccurring every November, for Laguna, that is absolutely the best invention that the museum has ever come up with. Art and nature is so part of this community, and because of our art history, it's just the perfect marriage of a concept that actually works, because there's so much good art that's been painted in nature.
In so many ways, the story of art and culture in Laguna Beach begins with Anna Hill. She's, in a way, she's the museum's hero. She was not only a gifted landscape painter, but also a fabulous fundraiser, an organizer. It's just what they needed at the time. And it's no exaggeration to say that without her grit and determination, the museum probably wouldn't even exist. So we've named this award for her, and this is the award that we give to people who have gone above and beyond in their service, not only to the community of Laguna Beach, but also to its museum. So it's my enormous pleasure to present the Anna Hills Award to Greg and Barbara McGillivray.
Thank you, Malcolm. And you know, Laguna Beach means a lot to Barbara and I, and it goes all the way back to when we first had to make the decision as to where to locate our film company. And we had two choices. One was Santa Barbara, where we love the trees and we love the architecture. But Laguna Beach, because of its art colony reputation, became the #1 choice. And we really love that aspect, where we've been here for the last 60 some odd years. And it's very important that we retain this center on art. It's really, in Laguna, it's 3 major assets. One, it's all the institutions, the art museum and the festivals. 2, it's the downtown beauty. And 3, it's the wonder of art and nature, the green belt and the blue belt moving together in an artful way to make our community probably the most artistic in the world. And that's where we really love to be.
Yeah. And, you know, I remember back the first time that I met you, Malcolm, and you started talking, this was about 8 years ago, I think, and you started talking about art and nature and how you wanted to have this whole program where you went beyond what Anna Hills and the Impressionists had done to make Laguna so well known with their Impressionist paintings, to make it, bring it alive, the interaction between art and nature. And that was just so exciting, the way that you talked about it. And so for the first art and nature presentation that you did on the beach, we went out and we filmed that in order to gain more, you know, notoriety for it and bring more people in to see it. And now I think we're going into our 8th year this year, and we're so excited to see how that's going to unfold this year with the whole live presentation out there, you know, where you had the waves reflected with mirrors one time, there were lanterns on the beach, there were lights in the ocean, and it all, just that synthesis and that conservation and importance of nature as well as art was so well represented. And I wonder, I'm dying to know, I think this will, oh my gosh. It's not light, but it matches my dress. And I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
I've been going to Laguna since I was a child, and as a young adult, always stopping off at the museum. And the museum, one, is so great because it's right on the ocean, and it's also great because they just have consistently really good shows. I think it's amazing that you specialize in California art, and I think it's also, and it's, to me personally, very important that it be in Laguna, which has always been a mecca for Southern California art. And to have a museum devoted exclusively to that gives me a great amount of state pride to know that the state has such amazing artists, and you know, not just in the present, but in the past. That you also embrace past artists who, if it wasn't for your museum, I never would have seen a lot of the work I've seen in your museum. It's really great to have that as a focus.
You know, Jason, one of the best things about my job is getting to work with artists.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, not necessarily artistes. Anyway, you could tell from Dan McCleary's clip there what a wonderful guy he is. And we've been working for the past year with another terrific artist from LA called Matthew Rolston. He's put together a series of beautiful photographs of backstage performers at the pageant of the Masters, which is called Art People.
Fantastic. I wonder how they get the paint off those nipples. Well, you were thinking it.
Anyway, so let's hear from Matthew Rolston now.
Is there an evolutionary purpose to art making and aesthetics? This new project attempts to explore a very simple human question. Why do we make art? Throughout my youth and in my adult life, I've attended a popular local summer attraction called Pageant of the Masters. The Pageant of the Masters is a superbly crafted tableau vivant entertainment in which human beings allow themselves to be turned into living works of art. This show is not for what we actually call art people. Art people is a phrase used to describe people in the contemporary art world who probably have no knowledge of the show. They'd probably think it was silly or kitsch. I don't think it's silly, and I don't think it's kitsch. I've always been interested in humans. That's my subject matter. I think I was interested in the way people looked in order to understand them. I brought a powerful pair of binoculars to the show, and I began to study up close the faces and bodies of the volunteers. What I discovered was a touching reality, things that you couldn't possibly see in the illusion of the show from 50 feet away. It just moved me. With those binoculars in front of my face, I realized I had discovered the perfect subject for my exploration into the meaning of art making. Here are some of the reasons I think people make art. To seek personal enjoyment and satisfaction, to express personal thoughts and feelings, to communicate with others, to make others see us more clearly, to provide us with new visual experiences, or to record a time, place, person, or object, to reinforce cultural ties and traditions, or to effect social change, to tell stories, maybe even to heal the sick. People make art to adorn themselves, to explain the unknown as an act of worship. Of course, many artists make art to earn a livelihood.
That looks like it's going to be an amazing show, and it's brilliant that it's a tribute to the Pageant of the Masters, our neighbours. I did a little bit of research last night, 2 o'clock in the morning, Wikipedia, you know, and Matthew Rolston, it turns out, has photographed a zillion celebrities, music, movies, he's done MTV videos, and he's taken photographs, 100 covers for the Rolling Stone magazine.
He's big time. He's big time. Well, you know, at the museum, we're so proud of our Art and Nature Festival. It's a celebration of art inspired by nature, its beauty, and sometimes its vulnerability, sadly enough, which is, of course, those are the big themes of Greg and Barbara's IMAX movies. One thing that's part of the festival, and it's become a very popular element every year, is the Family Festival. But there's also, and this is the centerpiece of Art and Nature, always a specially commissioned artist's installation. And I bet everyone watching this has seen at least one of them on Main Beach. They're always spectacular.
It's totally brilliant. And it brings the art out into the community. So if you've never even set foot in the art museum, you're going to see this around town. They're usually huge, they're brilliant, they're beautiful, they're inspiring. And, you know, if you're into art or nature or both, these are really incredible events. It's
an ambitious thing that we do.
Yeah.
And it gets more expensive every year, funnily enough.
Well, that's what accounts for my paltry fee for today.
So that's why we've made it the theme of the Gala's paddle race, our Make a Difference paddle race, as we call it. It's a chance to support not just the museum, but specifically art and nature. You might wonder how we can do it when we're a virtual gala, but we figured it out. It's going to be through the website, and it's going to be part of the Bash section of the gala.
Yep.
But for now, please enjoy this first ever showing of a short documentary that we've made about the history of art and nature from its inception in 2013 up to the present.
Laguna Art Museum's annual Art and Nature Festival is a presentation of specially commissioned large-scale works of art, along with special exhibits, films, and family activities, all centered on the theme of art's engagement with the natural world. Art and Nature speaks to the identity of Laguna Beach, which has fostered a love of art and environmental awareness for over 100 years. Now in its 8th successful year, Art and Nature has allowed thousands to experience originally commissioned art installations by artists like Elizabeth Turk, Philip K. Smith, Laddie John Dill, and Lita Albuquerque. In addition, Art and Nature engages the community with a hands-on family festival, providing art-making science and nature activities through the generous help of local volunteers and partner participation. The Art and Nature Festival is the most broadly attended initiative in the history of the Laguna Art Museum. Please join us November 5th through the 15th to celebrate art that reminds us of the beauty of nature and the need, today more than ever, to care for our environment.
So that's the story of Art and Nature so far. For the 8th manifestation of this annual festival, we have an art installation as usual, and it will be real. It won't just be virtual like this gala. It's going to be an actual physical event, Jason.
I know, first one in a while. That'll be magic. Of course, there'll be all the precautions will be in place, social distancing, everybody's got to wear a mask. Yeah. I plan to go up to the top of Saddleback Mountain and watch it at a great distance.
You don't have to go that far. It'll be viewable from Main Beach. It'll be spectacular, of course. But I won't say too much more about it now.
Do you know, you keep saying that. I'm not going to say too much about it. We'll talk about that later. I'm being paid by the word, Malcolm. So, you know, let's move on.
Anyway, time for the big reveal, because we'll now introduce you to Patrick Schern. He's with his studio Poetic Kinetics, quite hard to say, and he's our selected artist for this year's spectacular art installation that you'll be able to see from Main Beach, November the 5th to the 15th this year.
My name is Patrick Schern. I'm an artist. I have a studio in Los Angeles called Poetic Kinetics, and I have been selected this year to bring in a piece for the Art and Nature Festival in November. I'm super thrilled and super honored. It's going to be a large installation suspended from the palm trees out in front of the beach here. We've been working on it for a few months, and it's turning into something I'm really extraordinarily proud of and really thrilled to bring to such a beautiful location as Laguna Beach. It's really an honor. And I was initially inspired by the murmurations of starlings and the schools of fish in the water, where there's 1,000 birds in the sky and they're all flying and all turning at the same time, and like there's some sense of communication, something's going on. And so these pieces really reveal what's happening around you, and it sort of expands your awareness of nature in general and sort of the sense of something else is happening other than my own little bubble. The response I get continually from people is very calming and very therapeutic, because even in the slightest breeze there's motion, you know, and it's calming and just subtle and gentle, and you know, I think it's a perfect spot, and there's a lot of places to sit and enjoy it. Laguna Beach is a perfect canvas to be working on. So often I'm called into strange locations that are less conducive and less beautiful for sure, and they're looking to sort of beautify something. And here it's more working with the existing beauty and trying to figure out a way to complement it in a really nice way. And having this festival be about nature and art, it's a perfect dovetail, you know, to work with wind. I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and I really feel like we're doing something that's going to make them proud and make the people of Laguna Beach happy and proud. I think it's going to be pretty special.
Why am I standing here in my pajamas? They said go put pajamas on in there, and now we're standing. Is that what you wear in bed, Malcolm? What's this?
Well, this is my home. Welcome to my home.
This is not your home. It's not even Laguna. It's the Caribbean or somewhere. What's going on in here? I know that people don't, you know, they watch these things and they're not dressed up. People are wearing their pajamas watching this, I suppose.
So why shouldn't we wear our pajamas too?
Why shouldn't we wear our pajamas?
Well, this is my...
Well, why shouldn't we wear anything? I could be dressed as a frogman at this point. It's ridiculous.
But this is our everyday...
Is that what you wear to bed?
This is my bedtime. This is my sleepy time.
You're the only man I know.
Sleepy time, as I call
wears
it.
2 ties, even in bed, and look at those legs.
Well, they are my best.
Very hairy. Look at those.
My best feature.
My goodness me. Oh well. Well, we're only halfway through, really, and the best is yet to come.
Absolutely. So hopefully everyone's enjoyed that preview of our Art and Nature event. Please save the dates, November the 5th to the 15th, for the wonderful art installation by Poetic Kinetics.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hi.
Oh my God, wait a minute.
Wait, who's that?
I think it's Laddie John Dill. I'm having some kind of weird flashback right now. I don't know what it is. Very strange.
Whenever I want to see the best of the best in plein air, I go to Laguna Museum. And that to me is worth. I'm in LA, so it's worth the drive. Absolutely, it's a jewel on the coast of California, and totally dedicated to California, as we all know. Have had some amazing experiences there with other interaction with other artists, and I'd like to say that it's actually a museum where artists actually attend and go to. It's to me, it's like a working museum, and I just want to thank the museum and all of its directors for believing in me and really staying behind me. So that's very heartfelt.
I started coming to Laguna with my parents when I was about 7 years old. We came just about every year for my dad's birthday in July. I had no idea that my connection to Laguna would eventually result in such incredible opportunities with the Laguna Art Museum. I've been lucky enough to exhibit my work there, to collaborate with Malcolm and staff on a substantial book of my work, and to create a quarter-mile-long art installation on Main Beach for the Art and Nature Festival. It's been a 40-year relationship with the Laguna Art Museum that has helped to shape my eye, to expand my understanding of art history, to develop my artistic career, and to solidify forever my appreciation of the beauty and light of Laguna Beach. So thank you to the museum and so many collectors, friends, and art installation volunteers that have helped to share my work with your community.
Well, thank you, Philip. And Philip is one of a number of artists that we've been hearing from this evening who actually give not only of their talent to our commissioned art and nature installations, but also they give works of art to our annual fundraising auction that happens in February.
Yeah, that was brilliant, actually. You've put your tuxedo back on again, Malcolm.
Well, I don't feel completely comfortable unless I have the whole tuxedo on.
I understand. The artists are great, though, man. And they're incredibly articulate when you consider that they spend a lot of time alone and talking isn't necessarily their thing.
Yeah. Now I want to say a word about the paddle raise. Hopefully seeing what we've been doing over the years and also the good things to come with the museum, you might be inspired to support us, to support the museum in general or specifically maybe the Art and Nature program. Either way, you can make a difference by taking part in our paddle raise.
Yes, there'll be a paddle raise room on the menu. Perhaps paddle raise, by the way, not paddle race. Room on the website, Laguna Art Museum's website, from 7 to 10 this evening. You go to the website just by Googling Laguna Art Museum. That's the way I would do it. Or you can, I'll give you the browser exactly. It's lagunaartmuseum.org/Gala support. That's lagunaartmuseum.org/Gala support. That's from 7 o'clock. And then you get into the bash and you'll see that one of the things you can click on is the virtual paddle room.
Very good. Well, we've heard tonight from a couple of our art and nature artists already, Laddie John Dill and Philip K. Smith, and here are a couple more. First we'll hear from Elizabeth Turk and then Lita Albuquerque.
Laguna Art Museum, situated quite literally on the edge of the continent, has always been the ultimate symbol of art and nature to me. As artists, we're documenting, interpreting, or simply sharing the paradox of the overwhelming bigness of our sky, sun, ocean, the enormity of nature. All the while, it's being changed. In fact, it's disappearing. It's why I can't appreciate enough the fact that LAM has been home to this visual conversation for over 100 years, and it continues to add new and unique voices, hopefully, for another 100. It's a really special and intimate legacy. That's why I can't be grateful enough for having been able to celebrate the centennial anniversary with all of you, with the Laguna community. Thanks for continuing to take the creative risks that you do. And especially thank you for launching Shoreline Project, because that was a really big risk.
one of my earliest memories actually is Wayne Thiebaud at the museum, and how incredibly, of course, luscious his paintings are, but the fact that the museum was such a supporter of his work. And I understand that Wayne Thiebaud is a very big part of your gala, and then after the gala, he's going to have a solo show of his new works that haven't been seen anywhere on clowns, which I think it's perfect timing with the election coming up. And also, he's one of my absolute favorite artists, and your shows there have really, really made me even more of a fan of his work. And you just told me that he's 99 years old, about to turn 100, which is spectacular. Anyone who centennial, right in there together, and that's a very interesting parallel. The two, right? The museum and Wayne Thiebaud, neck to neck with the centennial. So I think it's fantastic. I can't wait to see the new work, and I can't wait to see how it's interpreted and the timing of it. I think it's fabulous. And I was telling you earlier how the museum is really always merging the historical and the contemporary. I think you're really doing it with Wayne's show. So it's fantastic.
Is she nice? She's so nice. Lita Albuquerque, they're very passionate about art and about Wayne Thiebaud, one of our featured artists of the evening. And I have noticed, actually, in my many, many minutes of prep that I did for this job, I've noticed that to be a great artist, you seem to have a wacky name. Lita Albuquerque, Wayne Thiebaud, of course, is kind of crazy. How about Laddie John Dill? Thank you. There's only Philip Smith. Philip K. Smith.
Yeah.
I wonder what the K stands for.
He's called Philip K. Smith III,
See? So that's what I'm saying. So next year, when I apply again for the Artist of the Year award, I'll change my name to, Simon Pancake or something like that. So it's wacky and interesting. We're really honoured that Wayne Thiebaud has kindly donated a special artist proof of a silk screen print that he made in 1970. It's called Toy Counter, and it's beautiful, as you can see. And that's our star, actually, opportunity prize drawing. It's not a raffle. It's not a raffle. Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's an OPD, an opportunity prize drawing, and it's worth $17,000, this painting, by the way. I don't want to see it on eBay next week. But our sponsors, benefactors, and our patrons, you guys are all entered to win automatically into the drawing and a chance to win this fabulous screen.
Yeah, we're so fortunate that Wayne Thiebaud has such a soft spot for Laguna Art Museum. He's courted by much bigger and richer museums than us, but he sees this as an opportunity to make a difference. He gives to us. He's so generous, but I think the key thing is that he wants to support the smaller, worthy institution, and he's certainly doing it by giving us that wonderful opportunity prize drawing. So, without more ado, let's go over to Wayne Thiebaud now, and he'll be speaking to us from his studio in Sacramento.
Cool.
So, Wayne, thanks so much for being with us. You're a good sport, as always. We were just talking about how you have a soft spot for Laguna Art Museum. Now, why is that?
Well, I think you're doing a wonderful job of reclaiming very important Southern California artists who have not gotten their due. So that's a great tribute both to them and to you, that people like all of those names that you have recovered. That's a very, very important contribution.
So, Wayne, we're all looking forward tremendously to the opening of the exhibition of your work that we're going to do soon, this fall, the exhibition of your recent work on the theme of circuses and clowns.
The crazy clown. Yes, that's a subject matter I originally didn't intend to show. It was mostly a personal pursuit of memories of the circus when I was growing up in that area, Long Beach. And it took me a while to take up the courage to have an exhibition of them. But now I'm kind of looking forward to it because I'm such an old clown myself.
So Wayne, it seems that you have a lifelong interest in clowns, and I know you're very interested in comedy generally, and the kind of the visual branch of comedy that is cartooning.
Very much, yes. I was a cartoonist. I think a lot of critics still think I'm a cartoonist, and that's a compliment to me. But I collect original cartoons, and I've done them all my life. So they do relate very much to the clowns. The clowns become, I think, more interested in caricature than cartooning, I hope. And the probe is to give them, hopefully, some humanity.
It was so good of you, Wayne, to give us the print of Toy Counter that we're using for our Opportunity Prize drawing in the Gala. Can you perhaps tell us a little bit about that work?
It was part of a series of toys and toy counters that go back, I think, to the 60s, maybe. So that print is done some years ago, and it's quite rare now.
Yeah, what I love about that composition is the way that there's this repetition. The same toys appear in different parts of the picture, and then there's a subtle variation from one to the other. And it seems to be that whole principle of repetition with variation seems to govern that, and a lot of your other works as well.
Yeah, I'm an old art teacher, and those are kind of things I give my students to have to do.
Yeah.
Variations on a theme, or to use one of the great devices and tools of painting, and that's serialization. You see it with Monet's cathedrals and poplars, and many, many people use that as a device for testing out possibilities of a single thing made as multiples and variations. It's a great way of orchestrating shapes.
Well, Wayne, be assured that everybody in Laguna Beach is totally in love with Wayne Thiebaud, and we're all looking forward to showing your exhibition and celebrating the birthday that I hear is coming up for you. You're going to be 100 soon.
I don't know. I think 99 seems enough for me. That sounds like more than 100 already. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's, I guess I should say I just hope it happens.
Well, Wayne, thanks so much again for taking part in our virtual gala. You can be assured that everybody in Laguna Beach wishes you well and wishes you a very, very happy birthday on your 100th. So long for now. We'll see you soon in Laguna, I hope.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wayne Thiebaud.
Well done, Malcolm. Nice job there interviewing Wayne Thiebaud. That was very cool.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, I heard that somebody told me that your wife actually told me that you played the old ukulele, so I'm...
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
All right?
Yeah.
You're a bit of a...
My dog has fleas.
I heard you studied at the Sorbonne, the ukulele. All right, we're going to sing a song. We're going to sing Happy Birthday to Wayne Thiebaud. Turns, fingers crossed, 100,
yeah.
November 15th. That's cool. But even cooler if he doesn't quite make it, because that print is going to be worth a whole lot more than $17,000.
Well, I hope he doesn't see this.
Let's sing.
Not now.
Let's sing it really quickly in case he doesn't make it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wayne. Happy birthday to you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. You've got your talents, but that's not one of them.
Well, Wayne Thiebaud's Clowns exhibition, talking of clowns, will have its museum debut coming up. It runs from December the 6th to April the 4th.
Wonderful.
We can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So once again, it's my duty and pleasure to recognize the sponsors who've already given so generously to support the gala, and especially Jason, and the upcoming year at the museum for that matter. So at the platinum level, Joe and Jane Hanauer and Laguna Beach Books, Lou and Laura Roll, Kristen and Steve Samuelin, Ellie Weaver and Hilton Weinberg, and West Coast Event Productions. At the gold level, Agents for Art, Carla and Jeff Meberg, Tom and Barbara Stiles, and of course Wayne Thiebaud. Our heartfelt thanks are also due to the hard-working Gala Committee, chaired by Kristen Samuelin and Carla Meberg. Thanks also to our highly capable and very patient AV partners at Bright Ideas. And my congratulations also to the members of the Laguna Art Museum staff, especially Bernadette Clemens and Sarah Gale, who have done so much to keep us under control, right? And keep the process moving along.
They've done their best, yes.
Now it's time to move on to the second part of the gala. Remember that? The bash part. The bash. You can join that through the museum's website, where from 7 till 10, each of the elements of the bash will be available whenever you want to see it. You'll surely want to watch the fabulous Jason Fedde with his band Mad Dogs and the Englishmen. And there's also special presentations by museum trustees and docents, and I'll take anyone who wants to come with me on a tour through the museum's secret vault. And you'll have a chance too, in the bash, to win an additional prize, which is a weekend getaway at the ranch at Laguna Beach.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Along with the use for that weekend of an Aston Martin.
Wow.
Real James Bond style.
Really? You keep going back to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm familiar with.
It's a brilliant place, the ranch. I play there a lot, solo. And I've stayed there, and the rooms are gorgeous, and the service is fabulous. But I slept on the wrong side of the bed and I fell out of bed. This is a long story. Anyway, don't forget to make a difference in the paddle raise room. If you want to increase your chances of winning the Wayne Thiebaud print, it's important to us to keep getting money. It's important to keep the Laguna Art Museum going. That's what we're really all about.
I second that.
Yes.
But now...
Are we done?
We haven't got much time.
Right.
Because you've got to get ready for your gig.
I do.
So come on.
Yes, clean t-shirts all around. Oh my God, mine! It's the Aston Martin from the Opportunity Prize draw. Let's get it. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears, I will sing you a song. I will try not to sing out. Oh baby, why can't I? Oh my baby, I know I'm but a guy. With my friends, what do I do when my love is away? Doesn't worry you to be alone. Oh no, 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 no. How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? I don't know, my baby said he wanna go fly away. Oh, I need my friend. Oh, all I need is my buddy and I. You know it happens all the time.
What do you see when you turn out the lights?
Oh, can I tell you no? But it sure feels like mine. All I need is my prayer. No, I need someone to help me provide. Oh, you know I'm gonna make it with my friends.